Now, the first, we're going to recite the prayer. So all of you have that prayer book. So please look at your prayer book. Your body is created from a billion perfect factors of goodness. Your speech satisfies the yearning of countless sentient beings. Your mind perceives all objects of knowledge exactly as they are. I bow my head to you, O chief of the Shakya clan. You are the most excellent sons of the such peerless teacher. You carry the burden of the enlightened activities of all conquerors, and in countless realms you engage in aesthetic display of emanation. I pay homage to you, O Maitreya and Manjushri. So difficult to fathom is the mother of all conquerors. You who unravel its contents as it is are the jewels of the world. You are held by great fame in all three spheres of the world. I pay homage to you, O Nagarjunas and Asanga. Stemming from these two great charioteers with excellence, are the two parts of the profound views and the vast conduct. You are the custodian of the tertiary of instruction encompassing all essential points of these parts without error. I pay homage to you, O Dibamkara. You are the eyes to see all the myriad collections of scriptures. To the fortunate ones traveling to freedom, you illuminate the excellent path. You do this through skillful deeds straight forth by compassion. I pay respectful homage to you, or all my spiritual mentors. I bow down to the mother of the conquerors of the three times, the perfection of wisdom inexpressible by words or thoughts, which is unproduced and unceased, like the entity of the sky, the object of the wisdom of unquiet knowledge. Teatha gate gate parasamgate buddhi soha. Teatha gate gate parasamgate buddhi soha. Teatha gate gate parasamgate buddhi soha. May all negativity forces opposed to Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems that harmful conditions to Dharma. May all enjoyment be in accord with the Dharma. And may there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here right now. By the knower of all hearers seeking purification are lead to peace. By the knower of paths, those benefiting Marketing's beings accomplish the welfare of all the world. By the perfect possessions of it, the subduer teach the verities, possession all aspects. To those mothers of the Buddhas, together with the host of hearers and bodhisattvas, homage. He who taught dependent origination, no cessation and no origination, no inhalation and no permanence, no coming and no going, neither different nor same, this true coming of conceptual elaboration, to you who is supreme speaker among all fully enlightened Buddhas, I pay homage. This ground adorned with perfume stone with flower, adorned with Mount Meru and four continents and sun and moon. I image this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Yedam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniyataya Me. Our next refuge and generating bodhicitta. Mention always to remind you when we're reciting this prayer, make sure you take refuge, means you concern to all your mental afflictions, all your cognitive obscurations, your negative karmas, a specific non-virtuous negative karmas, which are the causes of suffering of three lower realms, concern these, obstacles yourself and with entire mother sentient beings. Their obstacle also concern and believe to the three precious jewels, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, are the one who can able to save us. How they save? Buddha as a teacher who can teach us, guide us. Actual, your savior is the Dharma. Dharma, which is your realizations and your cessations of all these obstacles. These are the Dharma, like a medicine, who can directly save us from all these obstacles. And in order to generate the Dharma, we really need some kind of Dharma friends, the reliable friends, which are the Arya Bodhisattvas, seeing them as your true friends, right? True your aspirations, your what you call the Dharma companions. So out of tremendous belief that, then you should show your faith of convince to the three precious jewels, full relying on them, take full refuge, right? Then generating bodhicitta, that next two line, by the accumulation of great through listening to the Dharma. So whatever merit I accumulate through listen this teaching, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit to all sentient beings. To just wish to become a Buddha is not difficult. Out of selfish, you can be like that, right? So you have to make sure wants to become a Buddha is for sake of entire beings. Your mind, you really need to feel, I will going to save entire beings, right? I will going to help them. I will going to save them. In order to save them without become a Buddha oneself, it is impossible. That is why whatever merit I accumulate through listening this teaching, I will dedicate to achieve myself to Buddhahood for sake of all beings. That's the bodhicitta. It's a very, very important, these two practice. So we're reciting, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta prayer 3 times with serious meditate on bodhicitta and refuge. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the accumulation I create through teaching to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the accumulation I create through teaching the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the accumulation I create through teaching the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. When I say, I create through teaching the Dharma, right? You guys don't say teaching, you guys are listening. So you guys say through listening to the Dharma, right? So that's how sometimes you may think, oh, the Geshe-la is saying something, we are saying something, who mistake? It's nothing. I'm the teaching. So when I accumulate merit, because I'm teaching the Dharma, you accumulate merit because you're listening to Dharma, right? That's how you should, say that I create through listening to the Dharma. Okay, then next stanza, homage to Buddha. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel the perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I make prostration. Jasonra kun la tawe mi kesan taba tubi chunga cho, tsewe chunga take tseba seze shini namla kwebe tu namala ike talo ta nyuchin ki tupun tata mi ike nanda. Roa kun je ta namchi zamba tamche ike to ta ki chwe tu to. Okay. So last prayer I recited actually this like a teacher who was supposed to be recited, not the disciple. So this is not in your text. Actually, this is one stanza as from the King of Noble Prayer. They do have that stanza, King of Noble Prayer, right? You know that. The uh, so it's actually giving permission to the even the beings from God realms, the beings who have karma, from the God realms, from the demigods, from the spirit beings. They're giving permission to listening the dharma, that kind of word. Uh, so without giving permission, maybe they might be not allowed, or maybe they will not going to hear. So that last one stanza is about kind of giving permission, kind of like that. So traditionally, maybe sometime maybe you need to understand that traditionally before the teacher before he seated on the throne, the teaching throne, we do the three prostration to the throne, right? So the one of the reason is that teaching the dharma where he's going to teach is very auspicious, very sacred. That's why we pay respect. That's the one, the teacher before you sit it on the throne, that doing the prostration. Second purpose is sometime when you teach, when you share your dharma, or people may people may think, oh, I'm good teacher, or I'm sometimes it may create you arrogance, ego, or I'm special, you know, or I might be something special. So it sometimes it may create you the what you call the uh, ego. So that's not good. So that's why that you're prostrating, you're touching your head to the floor, which means you are touching your head to your guru's feet, right? You're visualizing that. Buddha's feet, which means I am under your feet. That's how you visualizing. So it helps to keep, you know, humble attitude, respect attitudes. So that's another purpose. So during these, when we're doing the prostration or whatever we're doing, it's not just there's a meaning behind there, right? So it is important to know that traditionally, uh, uh, so that's what you call our lineage masters, right? How they're doing. So teaching style. So before you sit on the throne, you're doing prostration is one of the reason is to make sure it's not creates you too much ego, too much arrogance. And that's not good, right? And then second thing I mentioned earlier, to respect to the teachings, Buddha himself, when he taught the Pranjaparamita Sutra, he himself, first before he teach, he prostrate to the throne where he's going to teach. That comes from Buddha, right? It's mainly respect to the teaching, the Dharma they're going to show us, right? Because this is the Dharma going to heal us, lead us, right? They are our actual savior. That's why you cultivating respect, receiving blessing, and also receiving blessing from all the lineage masters, right? This important dharma we receive because of from Buddha to all these, we call the unbroken, right? Lineage masters. They passed first Buddha to Maitreya, Manjushri, Nagarjuna, Arya Asanga, right? All the way past these lineage holder masters. So we appreciate to them, feel gratitude towards them. Out of that, prostrating them. So Then third is mainly to reduce your ego, the arrogance, right? That's the one thing. Then when you're on the throne, before you sit there, supposed to be there's a one stanza. Uh, Usually, when we reciting the teaching, we used to recite that stanzas. This stanza is kind of the reminding us the impermanence. Everything's an impermanence, the death meditations. So before you sitting there, sometimes some masters maybe they before they sit they snap. They do the finger snapping right on there. It's called snapping, right? Snap. So yeah, it's like this. So it's what is the why? What is that meaning? It means before you sit on this throne, understanding everything's impermanence means everything's will be changed. Remind you death meditation. You are going to die. So don't be too much ego. Don't be too much arrogance. So it's a remind you to death meditation. That's how they doing like snapping means it's just momentary. It change, right? The snap is the momentary, it's changing. So your life is like that, like a second you're going to die. So it's kind of reminding us for the impermanence. So all of these things are make sure as a teacher, as a listener, make sure you don't give any little chance to your negative thoughts, ego, arrogance, little things, even little success, people praise you, little things, people love you or something like it. It may create you ego. Somebody's, oh, you teach very good. It may create you some kind of arrogance. So I have to be, always have to be make sure don't give any chance to this ego and arrogance. So that's why it's doing prostration before you're sitting, meditate on death meditation. It's all about that. So when your mind is clean, it's to achieve Buddhahood for sake of all being. That's all. There's nothing any else. There's nothing seeking oneself to get the reputation, to get the money, to get the power, nothing about anything. As long as when you're looking on that way, your intention is wrong, mistake. Wrong intention, even the teaching is right. Because of intention is wrong, it may create negative karmas. And a karma creates by mind, the action which comes from mind. If that mind is wrong, negative, any actions we acted, it's becoming wrong, right? Negatives. That is why make sure, don't give any chance to these negative emotions. Some of you may not teaching, but you may sometimes sharing with your friends or your Dharma students, or you're sharing with any others, or make sure that don't give any egos and arrogance in that chance, because these are the poison. These are the poison, and it's getting worse and worse. When you attach to one reputation, then you are seeking, oh, somebody praise me. Then slowly, it take over you. Then everything's you're doing is to get your power, your reputation, make a fame, or bring more students, or becoming more this or that. It's all become exactly same like a business. Then what? There's nothing benefit, right? So that is why when we first take refuge, before we start taking refuge practice, when we do as a practitioner, it is good to maybe if you practice renunciation spontaneously, right? Renunciation is also good with that. It suits with a refuge. You renounce all the mundane pleasure, which means doesn't matter your reputation, your fame, your power, your money, or doesn't matter. All of these are part of samsara, right? So renunciation is you renounce all the samsara's pleasures, renounce them. Then true happiness is freedom of my attachment, my anger, my destructive emotion, right? Cessation of suffering. So you're seeking, that is why I take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha in order to overcome these destructive emotions, right? So renunciation with refuge with your applied renunciation, it goes very well. It suits with these two practices together, right? So, and all of these things I make sure as a listener, as a teacher, we all make sure our intention is clean. Some of you may think, oh, today what's Teacher Labille going to talk? Something new I learned. Then I will become something. Always be your intention is whatever I'm learning here is for sake of overcome my destructive emotion, sake of Ichi Buddhahood, which means freedom of my afflictive and cognitive operation, then I can help to other beings, right? I can save to other beings. That's very, very important. When you first generate that intention and just try to hold this intention constantly again and again, and during the listening the dharma, you're holding these kind of intention. Out of these intention, you remain with the bodhicitta for longer. You don't need to separately meditate. Just listening the dharma is out of these kind of intention. So slowly, your whole life, right, live with this kind of bodhicitta intention. That's how becoming bodhisattvas, right? So it's not just few seconds you meditate bodhicitta. After a few seconds, completely changed now, back to the same mundane mind. Then it's at least you generate bodhicitta for a few seconds is very good, but it's not that much enough, right? We need to try to stay with them. So these are important. Okay, so then yes. What do I say? Yes, now after last time we finished the Guru devotion practice, right? So of course, I mentioned, some of you may read the liberation of palm of your hand. I told you, which has more detailed information about the Guru devotion, right? So if you do not know how to meditate on Guru devotion, then of course you cannot meditate Guru devotion, right? Then how can you achieve this realization? It's impossible. So mentioned last class, so okay, after when you have during the week, you can read, right, the Guru devotion practice, which is liberation of palm of your hand, and Lamrim Chemo, and the 50 stanza of the Guru devotion. There are a number of texts which talking about the Guru devotion. Mainly, where we need to emphasize all of these are the mind. Always think about it. Practice, it's all about the mind, mainly. Of course, there are physical things, but these are the physical things are the what you call it's like a branches, not the root, right? The root is the mind. So devotion through deeds and thoughts, right? There are two things. Devotion through deeds is the physical things, right? We're offering to our gurus, we're taking care of the gurus, cleaning, doing massage things, all kind of things. In the text they say this is devotion through deeds, but mainly devotion through thoughts. Thought, which is faith and respect attitude. So here, when I say guru devotion to Guru, devotion to Buddha. What that means? That means your faith and respect attitude, right, to the Gurus. So what kind of faith you show to your Gurus? What kind of respect attitude you show? If your faith is like same like an ordinary person, little bit better than some troublemakers, but as an ordinary person, respect is also just ordinary person. Little bit respect more than ordinary other people. That's devotion. If you do it, you receive just ordinary blessing, right? So here, faith means how much you can able to show faith to Buddha Shakyamuni. If you see the Buddha Shakyamuni in front of you, what kind of faith you can able to show, right? What kind of respect you can able to show. That same kind of faith and respect attitude, right, to the gurus. That's called the devotions. I mentioned earlier, devotion is for you. It's nothing for guru, anything, nothing for that. It's about you. So how to cultivate my faith to my gurus is, I mentioned last time, remember gurus' qualities, right? Body, speech, and minds. You should look all the good qualities. Think again and again. And sometimes even just simple action, the word can fix you to makes you tremendous kind of the faith to the gurus. So that's how you need to meditate. So general, they talk about the body, speech, and mind, like same the Buddha's body, speech, and mind, all the quality, but specific as an ordinary beings, when see the ordinaries, some kind of quality you see would really move your heart, that quality you need to think again, till you feel tremendous your faith, right? Respect attitude through understanding or remember the kindness of the gurus, specific kindness of sharing the dharma, right? So that's then when you go to the liberation of palm of your hand, there's a four different meditation they have, right? Guru is the most kinder than all the Buddhas. The Guru is agent of all the Buddhas, right? So all kind of your appearance has a not reliable. Sometimes we appear something ordinary people. That doesn't mean our appearance, what we appear, doesn't mean it is, right? So these are very, very, very important. That's why I'm telling you again and again. Sometimes we ignore this important part. Then we think emptiness, bodhicitta, right? Sometimes we try to grab that. But without having this practice, you cannot achieve the rest of the realization. So when you look into all the history or of all these masters, how they practice first, started from where, right? So that's how we should go with that same path. If you go with a different path, then you reach different. You finally, it gives something different kind of, I don't know, whatever strange place, right? So that's why it's important. So now, as a practitioner, so we do this when we practice in the day-to-day life. So how should we apply this practice, right? And traditionally, Lamrim, specific Lama Sumatra, right? Sumatra, which is the root guru of Atisha Dipamkara. Sumatra is actually they named it from the place where he lived, right? The Sumatra. But his real name is Chantakirti Chujitapa. It's very same. There's a one Chantakirti Madhyamika philosophers, right? Not Chantakirti, oh sorry. His name is called Dharmakirti. Dharmakirti. So the Dharmakirti, there's another Dharmakirti in Indian, famous master. It's kind of logic. He's the student of Dignaga, right? Dharmakirti. What you call one of the scholar of the logic, mind-only schools philosopher. So not that one. This is Dharmakirti, which is from Sumatra master, right? So that's why usually they call Lama Sumatra. So he is the Bodhisattvas, right? Living in Indonesia, in Sumatra Islands. So practice bodhicitta, like one of the famous, Bodhisattvas, that since he's practiced the bodhicitta. So Lama Atisha Dipamkara stay with him and under his guide 12 years, right, to reach this bodhicitta, right? Full teaching, full realization. Then he come back to India, finally back to Tibet. So Sumatra's, his tradition, any realization, to achieve any realization, right? Finally, we should understand, the Buddhist way of the practice means first understanding our goal is Dharmakaya, right? General, they are called three kayas. Maybe first go two kayas, right? Rupakaya, Dharmakaya. Rupakaya, which means truth body, enlightened body, right? Dharmakaya means enlightened mind. So right now, as an ordinary person, our body is contaminated, right? Contaminated body. Our mind is also contaminated, right? Body and mind, both of these we have is contaminated. It's called surfing of pervasive conditioning, right? Surfing of conditionings. We need to learn this suffering when we first learn Four Noble Truth, right? Buddha first, he's sharing the Dharma, Four Noble Truth. Among the Four Noble Truth, first he talked about the truth of suffering. Truth of suffering, there are three: suffering of change, right? Last, suffering of conditioning or suffering of pervasive conditioning. The last one, most important part. So as a Buddhist, if you really don't understand suffering of conditioning as a suffering, no way to achieve renunciation. Without renunciation, no way to achieve liberation. So suffering of conditioning as a suffering. So what is the suffering of conditioning? We just call our five aggregates, right? Which we have today. These five aggregates are contaminated five aggregates, right? Mainly five aggregates, you put it into two. Aggregates of body, aggregates of the mind, right? These two things. Within the mind, there are a few different aspects of the mind. They're categories, right? So one is called the feeling. One aspect of the mind called feeling, right? One aspect of the mind called discriminations. Then one aspect of the mind called mental formation, which is the rest of all the mental factors. Put it into that third, discrimination, right? General, according to the Abhidharma, the upper Abhidharma, they're talking about 51 mental factors, right, which we have. 6 main mind: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mental consciousness. 6 main mind, 51 mental factors, right? So, of course, we don't need to go detail. You can research in Google there, all of these things there. So among the 51 mental factor, they separate one mental factor called feeling, one mental factor called discrimination, right? These two. Rest of all the, what you call 49 mental factors, it's used the one word called mental formation, right? Then consciousness. Consciousness, which are 6 main minds, put it into that consciousness. So these are 4 aggregates which are part of your mind and your body, right? One. So that's how those 5 aggregates. So all of these 5 aggregates are the contaminated, right? Our 5 aggregates are contaminated, right? What you call uh, impure, it's the dirty, right? Sufferings. Because of having contaminated body, suffering of aging, sickness, suffering of death, all kind of physical problems. Because of that, because of contaminated mind, stress, depression, anxiety, countless of mental issues, right? Because of those. So suffering of change is because of the suffering of pervasive conditioning. This is the base. These two suffering based on suffering of conditioning. So main thing is understanding the suffering of conditioning. So this suffering, why we have this suffering of previous conditioning? Because of we are under the influence of mental afflictions, then karma, right? Because of having these destructive emotions, and destructive emotions create the karma. The karma, even virtues karma we accumulated, still contaminated. virtues, right? So we have to accumulate non-virtues and virtues. Even the virtues come as contaminated because it mixed with attachment, mind of equal grasping, always there, right? Even virtues. So that is why even your virtues karma reserve higher rebirth human beings, God realms, but they're still same. So the samsara. They're still samsara, right? So that is why understanding the pervasive conditioning, suffering of pervasive conditioning as a suffering, through the realizing, oh, as long as we remain under the influence of destructive emotions, there's no way to get rid of these sufferings, right? So now, real happiness, which means freedom of this destructive emotion, your mental afflictions, right? That's the key. So, in order to get rid of these, your destructive emotion, your mental affliction, what you need to do, you need to generate the dharma, realization. For instance, if you cultivate wisdom of emptiness, your wisdom of emptiness will antidote to your mind of ego grasping, right? That's the only way, not others. Buddha's wisdom of emptiness not going to antidote my mind of ego grasping, right? My wisdom of emptiness, my compassion, my renunciation practice, my bodhicitta are the one can antidote to my destructive emotions, some all these mental afflictions. That is why finally achieved Buddhahood, which means Dharmakaya. Through the practice, I generate all this realization, each of these realization cleaning my mind, right? Cleansing my destructive emotion. Finally, once one mind is completely transforming into a very pure, right? That's called Dharmakaya, right? Buddha mind. So when your mind is clean, Buddha mind, then your physical body is transforming into Rupakayas. So it's all about the cleansing one's own mind. And that cleaning is you have to do, nobody will do for you, right? That's self-responsibility. That's how Buddha say. You are your own master, right? In the sutra, things depend upon you. So through that reason, our goal is, doesn't matter, I have to put it practice, I have to generate realization. So that's the goal. Each of these realization will clean, all this destructive emotion. So in order to generate this realization, what we need to do before that, so Lama Selingpa tradition, this Lamri master tradition is, we need to accumulate merits, right? We need to clean the obstacles. If you not purify your obstacle, if you do not have enough merit, even how much you meditate, you're never ever going to achieve any of this realization, right? Same when you plant a seed on your ground, the field, make sure that field is clean, the obstacle. If there are too many obstacles on those field, how much you put the seed there, that seed never grow. It's obstruct, right? If there's a certain type of the insects or something going to eat the seeds, then how much you plant, they will eat the seeds. They never grow. So we need to clean all of this obstacle. Cleansing the obstacle doesn't matter, not enough. Make sure that field is very rich. Soil, moisture, heat, make sure all the favorable condition there. So when the soil is very rich, when you plant it, the grow, right, sprout very fast, right? If the ground is not rich, then how much you try it, how good seed you plant it, will never grow that. Exactly the same. To grow the realization in your mind, one thing, cleansing the obstacle. Second thing, the favorable condition is cultivate merits, right? So to do that, before you actual achieving realization, cleansing those obstacle and cultivate merit, these practice called preliminary practice, right? Preparation practice. In Tibetan, we used to call Ngondro. And different traditions have different way, 4 different, 6 different, 9 different, various things. But whatever they are, the goal is same. So specific in Lama Selingpa tradition, what they're doing. So after when you really put it into the practice, that's called 6 preparatory rites, right? 6 preparatory practice. So which means, what are these 6 preparations? As a meditator, first is saying, clean well the area where you are practicing, neatly arranging the representations of Buddha's body, speech, and mind. While doing so, recite to yourself, cleansing away the dust, clearing away the dust, clearing away the stains, right? That's how in the Lamrim say. What that means is, first, as a ordinary people, so first when we started the shrine room, where you're going to meditate, make sure those places very clean, right? Not stinky place or something dirty, right? Clean. And arrange like a little altars, for the beginner. So altar is something reminding us. So representative of Buddha's body, speech, and mind. The representative of the Buddha's body, which are the statues, pictures, right, of the Buddhas and our gurus and deities. But these are the representative of Buddha's body. Representative of Buddha's speech, which are the sutras, the texts. Texts are the representative of Buddha's speech. Representative of the Buddha's mind, which are the stupas, right? So these, whatever you have, doesn't mean you have to have these things. If you have, you can arrange nicely, higher place, not to the floor, not lower than where you sit. If you put these important objects lower than where you stay, then it's not good. Disrespecting. At least higher than where you stay, right? Arrange this neat. Then what they're saying is, while doing so, when you're cleaning your altars, everything, when you're cleaning, you recite, there's a 2 kind of the prayer. It's called the clearing away the dust, clearing away the stains. These 2 sentences, actually Buddha taught to one of his disciples. Most of you already know, during the Lamrim teaching, I often use that stories, and liberation of palm of your hand. You look at it there, stories is there. Some of you maybe knew, you never heard about, but one time there's one very old guy. So who become a monk. First he have a problem, lots of problems. Finally become a monk. But his memory is very, very poor. If you memorize one stanza, next stanza he forget it. When they go to the next stanza, the past stanza forget it. So here, very difficult to memorize. So that time, Buddha teach him, clearing away the dust and clearing away the stains. When you say first clearing away the dust, he forgetting clearing away the dust. Stains. The second sentence, he forgetting. That kind of difficult memories. But Buddha told him, okay, when the monks are inside doing their prayer, you should go outside there in the temples. You should clean the temples, the brooming, sweeping, and dust cleaning. So whole day, he just cleaning those temples. During that time, slowly, he can memorize both sentences, clearing away dust, clearing away stains. So he, reciting this with sincerely, right? So long, doing these, but slowly, getting better. It's cleansing his obstacles. Then slowly, he can understand the Buddha's teaching, constantly still, cleaning. So it is good to, when you're cleaning your temples, your shrine rooms like that, reciting this prayer with a sincerely intention, right? It's not seeking, or the master may think I'm a good devotees, or maybe some devotees may think I'm the good practitioner. If you think about that, then when you do it, nothing that much benefit to you, right? He says, Pamoga Rinpoche says, there are sometimes in the temple, and the people, the monks, they pay to the people who clean those, right? For them, cleaning the temple because of the money. It's kind of, this is job. It's not sincerely intention. So it's not that much benefit, no merit that much, right? So intention is the main thing. So keeping clear intention. So as a Mahayana practitioner, wants to achieve Buddhahood for sake of all beings. In order to achieve Buddhahood, I need to purify all my obstacles. That is why I'm cleaning the temple. I'm helping to my temples. But out of that, when you do it, it's really huge benefit, right? So that's the first practice. Then slowly, that finally, that old monk, eventually he practiced constantly. Eventually he understand the Dharma, meditated. Finally, he achieved liberation for destroyer, our heart beings in one life. His main practice is that to cleaning the temple, right? Removing obstacles. With the sincere intention, when you do it, huge benefit, right? So that's the first. Then second, after you clean your shrine room, everything very clean. Then second, obtain the offerings without deceit and arrange them beautiful. Then second, you set up the offerings. When you set the offering, say without deceit, right? Deceit. What that mean? Make sure your intention is very nice, good intention. It's not about people may think, oh, this is beautiful, right? So to get something, people like it, or people think this is beautiful. That's wrong intention. Attachment, right? Then doesn't matter. It's same when you what you call arrange the wedding ceremony, make all decoration. Same you arranging the the temple. Intention is same. It's just people think, oh, that's beautiful. Right? Out of that intention, then it's same like that. Arranging your wedding ceremony decoration is same like that. So it's same. Out of sincere bodhicitta, I need to accumulate merits, virtues. That is why I set up this offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for deep respect, right? Make sure this intention, then that's called without deceit, right? So that's without any bad intentions. Second, without deceit, also, whatever we offer here, the fruits, whatever you're offering to your altar, make sure this offering is not coming from negative actions. You steal the money from people, then you offering this, whatever fruits you offer, that's not benefit, right? That's not pure offering. This is the kind of the, not what you call qualified to offerings. Offering, which means mainly please to the Buddha, right? If this money is stealing or lying or something, will go to please. All the Buddhas will not going to please it, right? So it's not going to become a, so whatever you're offering that comes from good intention with, moral, actions. The actions, good actions come from. It's not from the bad, negative way. That's how, obtain the offerings without deceit, arrange them beautifully. Beautifully, which not just people see nicely. It's beautifully, it's because of the respect to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, right? Then the next, after finish that, then you're saying, sit in the comfortable, seat, observing the 7-point posture of Vairocana. So now you back to sit on your cushion, right? Your meditation cushion with the 7 physical, postures, the Buddha Vairochanas, we don't need to go detail. All of you may know that when you meditate, we have 7, meditation postures. So live with these 7 postures, right? And posture. Then what you do, take refuge and generate bodhicitta, right? You sit there with the physical posture, perfectly posture, and the first practice is taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Taking refuge, what they're going to do, after when you take the refuge, any practice you do it, it's become Buddha Dharma, Buddhist practice. Not having refuge and doing the practice, you think I'm doing Buddhist practice, but doesn't mean it's become a Buddhist practice, right? Doing Buddhist practice doesn't mean it become a Buddhist practice. Becoming Buddhist practice is individual. Take refuge. Take refuge doesn't mean I just recite refuge prayer or master it. It's not about that, right? I mentioned refuge, it will come later, the detail, mainly concern, all this your mental affliction, all the suffering of three lower rims, right? Other suffering, afflictive obscuration, all this concern or fear about these sufferings and causes of sufferings. The way to overcome this suffering is helps by Buddha Dharma Sangha. There's no other choice. Buddha, how they helps you? Teach us how to clean that. It doesn't mean Buddha bless you and take all your suffering and take, not at all. That's not how Buddha's help, right? Buddhist way of seeing what help is Buddha teach us how to clean them. Actually, your seva is your dharma. To grow the dharma, you need the sanghas to help. I mentioned earlier, we don't need to go. So out of that belief to the three precious jewels, then you show your faith of convincement, you fully rely on them. So you have so much concern about all your destructive emotion, all your bad karmas, all this suffering. Now you're fully relying on them, right, in order to overcome. Out of faith, fully trust, fully rely on them. That's called take refuge, right? Then generate bodhicitta, I mentioned earlier, wish to achieve Buddhahood for sake of all beings. So why these two doing? Taking refuge, practice becoming Buddha Dharma, right? Buddhist practice. Generating bodhicitta, whatever practice you do after that, it's becoming Mahayana practice, right? Without bodhicitta, even the prayer you're reciting is Mahayana prayer, but that doesn't mean it become a Mahayana practice. Becoming Mahayana practice is individual's intention, not based on what mantra you're doing, what prayer you're doing. It's not based on that, right? So that's why out of bodhicitta, even your prostration become a Mahayana prostration, right? Out of bodhicitta, even you recite one prayer, that practice become Mahayana. So that's why taking refuge in bodhicitta, right? Then next, what they're going to do is visualize the merit field in the space before you. Then after that, you actual practice, right? Whatever actual practice, if you do guru deities or anything you practice, now you first visualizing the merit field, right? Merit field for the Lama Tsongkhapa tradition, like this Lamrim tradition. One of the very easy, the simplest is we reciting the 100 deities of Toshita, right? The prayer which called 100 deities of Toshita prayer. It's only seven or eight stanza there, right? All of you have, right? If you do not have contact with the Jonathan, we will send it to you. This simple prayer. So that's the simplest one. So you inviting, according to this text, Lama Tsongkhapa with two disciples. You see this picture there in my back there, right? Same like that. But appear like a Lama Tsongkhapa, mainly what is that? Mainly is Dharmakaya, right? That's how we should understand. Dharmakaya means enlightened mind. Our definitive teacher is Dharmakaya, is the definitive teacher. Provisional teacher, variety different aspects comes, right? So when we talk about the Tara, or Buddha of compassion, definitive Tara is the Dharmakaya, enlightened activities, right? Enlightened activity is the definitive Tara. appear as a green color, white color, all different aspects. That's the provisional taras, right? Same Buddha of compassion, Avalokiteshvara. Definitive Buddha of compassion is the compassion of all the enlightened beings, right? Compassion of all the enlightened beings, the definitive. And it's appear, manifest as a physical form. Four-armed Buddha of compassion, two-armed Buddha of compassion, thousand-armed Buddha of compassion, variety. These called provisional deities, right? Similar like that. As a definitive is enlightened mind, Dhammakaya, appear as a Lama Tsongkhapa's aspect, right? Lama Tsongkhapa. Then as a practitioner, what we need to do, we're seeing this enlightened mind according to our karma, show different aspects. So all my gurus, even your this life, if you have 10 gurus, 20 gurus, 3 gurus, how many teachers you have, your real teachers, all of them are the definitive is the enlightened mind, Dharmakaya. And it manifests, right? Manifests different form according to my karma, show these ordinary people, these ordinary person. So all of them is the main, they are the same, main come from enlightened mind. That's why enlightened mind, specific in this practice, we appear, manifest as a Lama Tsongkhapa, but it's my, if I have 19 gurus, I see all of these 19 gurus as the same as a Lama Tsongkhapa. They manifest a different object, but they are the same source from Lama Tsongkhapa. Either Lama Tsongkhapa or my teacher, His Holiness, or my other teachers, exactly the same, showing different aspect according to us. That's how you should look. It's called Kundu Nubu look. Means everything's put it into one. Right? This, for the beginner, it's much easier to do that. Good practitioner, then we have a guru yoga practice. Oh my God, there's hundreds of deities, all these lamas, right? You can see the guru yoga's merit field. Oh, there are lots of things there, right? Good practitioner, you can look all of these things. But this 100 deities of Toshita is very, very simple. It's called, everything's put it into one. So that's how you should look. All my gurus, Lama Tsongkhapas, are the same. They are the same, specific same beings to different, showing different way. That kind of faith and respect attitude, right? You have. So that's called the merit field. First, your merit field. You visualize that front of you. Then next is accumulating merit and purify the negativity. What we're doing. Purpose of merit field is to accumulate merits, to purify your obstacle. That is why it's called 7 limb practices. Mahayana tradition, they use 7 limb practices. For the Theravada, I'm not sure they do have 7 limbs. They usually have 3 different types of practice, right? They usually have three limbs, right? Prostration, then the dedication, and reciting the sutra or something. I saw this one of the sutra talking about. But these 7 limb practices is actually, according to the Mahayana, the practitioners accumulate merit, purify the obstacle. There are 7 limb practice, 7 different practices. First, prostration, right? Then offerings. Then confession. Then next, rejoicing. Right? Then next, requesting. Requesting is usually, that request is requesting to remain, your gurus remain till samsara ends, right? That kind of requesting, right? Then another called entreating, which another request, which means turn the wheel of dharma, teach us, guide us, right? That requesting. And then finally, dedications, right? That's called the 7 limb practices. Each of these practices have purpose. Each of these practices helps to cleansing the obstacles, accumulate merit for the different way. Each of them creating different kind of karma. So that is why these 7 limb practices. So we don't have time to go detail each of them, how it helps you. But that's general information. Then upon there, mandala offerings, right? The mandala, which is the universe. You're offering the universe. That's the number 5. Then the last, you're requesting to your merit field. After that finish, you're requesting. They are usually called 3 purpose, right? 3 purpose you're requesting. First purpose is to purify, like for instance, as a Guru devotion practitioners, the obstacle of Guru devotion is seeking something negative to your gurus. You accumulate any negative karma to your gurus. You have some kind of negative feeling to your gurus. All of them are obstacles, right? And same renunciation, bodhicitta, each of them have their own obstacle, which we have. So you're requesting to the guru to cleansing all these obstacles, right? That's the first purpose. And second purpose is bless us to achieve each of these realization. Guru devotion, the practice of renunciation, compassion, bodhicitta, each of them realization, to bless us to achieve each of these realization, right? Third is, in order to do this practice, we have external obstacles, we have internal obstacles, right? Internal obstacle, our karmas, our negative emotions. External, sometimes we have illness, disease, sometimes we have, what you call families, societies, and negative energies and harmful spirits, all kind of things. So we request them to pacify all of these obstacles. That's called 3 purpose. That's called preliminary practice. Even you call Ngöndro or not, reciting mantra or something, counting the number or not. This Lamrim tradition, Ngöndro means these six preparatory practices. We should understand this. Then every morning, you can go very short, you can go longer, depending on, your times. So the 100 deities of Toshita, that prayer has all of these 7 limb practices already there, right? So everything's in there. Go a bit slowly and meditate. Each of practice tremendous helps you. So then after that finish 7 limb practices, then either you visualize Guru in front of you, or you sometimes people practitioner Guru, what you can visualize upon your crown. Doesn't matter, right? If you're front there, Namatsangha with the 2 disciples, then reciting mantras with meditation. So the Guru devotion practice, during the meditation first, what should we meditate? It's what is the benefit of Guru devotion, right? Disadvantages of your devotion lab. Think this again and again through this meditation. You look it into the Lamrim, that the 8 or 10 benefit of the Guru devotion practice, right? And when your devotion left, then problems, disadvantages, the opposite of these 8, right? Think about these and you should commit it. Promise yourself, I will never ever going to negative thoughts to my guru, right? Never ever. So kind of the promising to oneself. So that's how helps you. Then after the devotion, then you remember all the guru's general, all the his or her good qualities, specific certain quality which is really clicks you. It's tremendous helps you. It's very interesting. I'm not saying I'm a very good practitioner, but I have one very simple story. One time, one of our gurus, he was teaching openly with the thousands of the monks, one kind of empowerments. So during this empowerment, when he used the bell, I will show you. It's called the bell, right? Empowerment, they always use this bell. Somehow, maybe inside the bell, this one, It break it or something, it break it out, right? So he just sit there very quietly, not saying anything, because he's very humble guru. Even this thing you just simply say, oh, change one, bring one new one. Even he have nothing to say. It's very but one of the close, his student is just front there. They might be saw that he ran and give the new bell. And after he take it, then he start these things. It's really feel like, oh my God, how humble, that guru is. Even like little behave like that, it helps you to feel more kind of the devotions, right? It's like that. You have to be look carefully. So small things, the good quality which just clicks you, hold that. And during the meditation, you think it, you feel something, right? Otherwise, meditation is for experience, for you need to feel. If there's nothing feeling, that means something going wrong. Your meditation is not working. Doesn't matter. You can visualize whatever you visualize. As long as when your mind is not turning, not feeling, not changing, that means your meditation is not working well. Doesn't matter you sit there, you're enjoying or light or aura. This rubbish thing don't talk about, right? It's a real practitioner. Don't look these things. Oh, what lights come or third eye. These are all, these are all just nothing. It's nothing about this. It's mainly change the mind. I mentioned earlier, our goal is Dharmakaya. This unpure mind, we need to clean that. If your mind is not cleaning, if this mind is not changing, then doesn't matter whatever light comes up and down, doesn't matter. It's not working anything, right? So that's how we should, like small things which is really feel like, wow, this is something so much kind of the faith. Just think about this. Again, when you think, you feel tremendous faith. When you feel that faith, just remain with, hold this faith to the gurus, right? That's called the meditation. Reciting mantra with tremendous this faith, then respect, which is understanding the kindness, the guru's kindness. When you look into the Lamrim Chemo, there are the sutra, which talk about 10 different kindness. 2 different sutra, they use it. Really powerful. When we do the retreat in the mountain retreat center, we used to recite these sutras, right? Some of you maybe remember those. Some of you maybe don't remember. After the retreat finish, these books are also gone. There's nothing there. Just for the 4 or 5 days, this book is there. After retreat finish, books also forget, maybe, right? But when you look at there, there's 10 qualities there. That really clicks you. So think about these, each of, maybe I put it here or a few of them, maybe I put it there something. Yeah, here saying, I have wondered for a long time to cycle existence. So I wandered, circling in samsara for a very long time. And my guru searched for me. My guru is the one who searched me, right? Who helped me. Then I have been asleep, having been obscured by the delusion for a very long time. We've been sleeping with all this destructive emotion, ignorance, for whole our countless of life. And here saying, they wake me up. Guru is the one who wake me up. What that means? We do not know the samsara. We do not know the mind of ego grasping. We have no idea. Guru is the one who wake me up, recognizing your mind of ego grasping is the causes of samsara. Guru is the one who teach us the emptiness. This meditation wake you up from your ignorance. So all this, there are 10 qualities like that. So think about these again and again. Then you feel, who do this? Who teach you? Who guides you? Your ordinary guru. Buddha Shakyamuni statue is there. All these 1,000 Buddha, Amitabha, Buddha of compassion, all of them, we didn't hear even one sentence from them, right? So who teach you directly our ordinary gurus, the one who teach us each of these dharma. For us, guru is the more kinder than all the Buddhas, right? And the future, when you achieve quite high level, then you may able to receive teaching direct from the Buddha. That time you already reach certain levels, right? Right now is the most danger level. We have nothing experiencing. So in that moment, who's the one? Our gurus, right? So remember the teaching the dharma is the most important. Remembering teaching the Dharma is the most kind. So think this again and again, because Dharma is the only who can liberate you for you, who give you the Dharma. Our gurus are the one, right? That's how you should think. And when you feel tremendous respect, right, faith, and sometimes you may feel some kind of sadness, sometimes you may feel some kind of very emotion, just hold that, live with this kind of experience as much as you can. That's called guru devotion practice, right? Then after that finish, then dedication, whatever you do, right? That's how you should apply your each of this. Next time, I'm not going to tell you each one of this. This is for every practice, right? This is for guru devotion practice. You apply it, then precious human life, suffering of three lowerings, impermanent death meditation, all this we have. How should we do? And through this six preliminary practice, that is how all these our lineage masters, when they achieve bodhicitta through these preliminary practice, so we should go with that, right? You don't need to focus very much on how many number I recited. Mainly, make sure your intention, your focus on cleansing each of these, negative thoughts and obstacle, accumulate merit with a sincere intention every day, morning, every day. Do these six preliminary practice. When you have good amount of merits in a cleansing amongst of the obstacle, then after you actual meditation, guru devotion, renunciation, compassion, whatever you do, it's much more chance to achieve. There's a chance to you can achieve this realization. So that's why we should understand you're learning this Namdim, the traditional way how to do this practice. When you sit on your meditation cushion, how should we apply it with the six preliminary practice? These are the one Atisha himself do these things. Right? He learned from his teacher, Sumatras. Then all the master to till today, right? All of them, they do this practice as a preliminary and reach each of this realization, right? So Guru Yoga practice, whatever text, you as a Kagyu tradition, Nyingma tradition, general, there are different gurus they have, but the main points are same. Aspect different, this deity, this guru, whatever, so appear like a different form, right? But the root practice, the points are the same thing. So you have no any problem with even deity practice, like Buddha of compassion practice when you do, Tara practice when you're doing, same. Tara as an enlightened activities, definitely Tara appears this kind of form, and my guru is same. The Tara, one aspect is sure as a Tara, one aspect is sure as ordinary beings. To help me, they are the same entity. Seeing Tara and your guru is inseparably one. Out of that, you cultivate your devotions, right? The deities, exactly the same way. So that's why if you seeing the deity as inseparably with your guru, the merit you accumulate is becoming countless of merits, right? Because of your gurus. That's our huge benefit. So according to the sutras or the text saying, best object of your merit field is your gurus, right? So that's how gurus, that doesn't mean I have to meditate like Guru, ordinary beings there. Even I do Tara practice, even I do compassion Buddha practice as a mainly enlightened activity is my definitive Guru. And sometimes it shows as a Tara aspect, show as a my ordinary Guru's aspect. Sometimes it shows different aspect according to my karmas, my mental position, but they all are same. So showing as ordinary beings, it teach me, guide me, showing as deities, it gives me the blessing of the each of these realizations, the very skillful way to how to support, how to take care as our students with the different forms, different blessings they're showing. That's how the gurus are very skillful, how to help me. That's how you're seeing, Tara as inseparably with guru. Then offering confession, whatever you do, merit is much, 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 much higher than general Taras, right? If you're seeing as a gurus, more beneficial. Okay, this is just, today I want to share with what you call the how to apply the practice in your day-to-day life. So every morning, and at least 30 minutes, right? At least if you save that and do it with the Guru devotion practice and recite the mantra with few minutes, meditate, Guru devotion practice, then next, precious human life, then next, each the Lamrim practice we're doing, each section we finish, and that rest of that week, every morning, apply this practice with these 6 preliminary practices. So what you learn, you're able to practice. Otherwise, when you're not able to practice, sometimes you learn, but you may have struggled. When you're sitting on the cushion, how should I apply this practice now? You may have struggled that. So if you not apply that, what you learn may not help you for your meditation level, right? Just knowledge. They're not that much better. You have to apply. So how should I use this? I learned today. How should I use this for my meditation section? How should I use this, right? That's how you should. This is called the analytical meditation. Powerful. Analytical contemplate means what you learn, you think, right? Think this again, and your feeling arises. So when feeling comes, then you hold it, that feeling. Just remain with that feeling, right? That's how your mind is becoming more familiarized again. If you're not doing that, then you may have problems, right? Sometimes some of the people, they're telling me, they say, okay, you should visualize Buddha or deity. They say, oh, sometimes it's very difficult. When I visualize, maybe my Buddha is one ear become very big, one ear become small. Sometimes nose become this way. It's going change. So because they are not familiar, your mind is thoughts, then that makes you scary. Then don't want to visualize these things. They say there were problems if you're not doing this meditation. If you do it first, yeah, of course, it can go different. What you want, it is not. So you should look at the picture. Like if you're doing the 100 days of Toshida prayer, make sure the Lama Tsongkhapa will to disable, right? That's how these tankas, pictures, we look at again. When you look at again picture, then slowly that image, you take the picture of that image, put it in your brain, then slowly you project it, right? You project it. That's called visualization. You project. So sometimes that projection may a little bit changing here, there. Again, look it, again, project, do it again. Eventually, it comes right way, right? It takes a time. So if you don't put this effort, it never comes first perfectly easy. Otherwise, everybody become a Buddha, right? It's not. It's difficult. But you do again. How should I do? That's the important part. Need to know. If you do not know how to do in the right way, big problem started there. Every practice, bodhicitta, emptiness, we learn, right? Guru devotion, important. But how should I do the Guru devotion practice the right way? Where should I start it? That's how we're learning this. If you do not know how to do that, and you never ever experience this, right? Bodhicitta, you just know bodhicitta. You may hear 100 times, but you do not know how to practice bodhicitta, then you never achieve bodhicitta, right? Practicing bodhicitta is to achieve the bodhicitta. If you not achieve bodhicitta, you never become a bodhisattva, right? uh, without being a bodhisattva, Buddhahood is impossible. Some people may think, oh, I sleep, there's a big lights come here. Then some kind of maybe in my forehead, I have some itching there. They may think, oh, I have something, become some, there are many superstitious things there. When they don't understand the real Dharma, there are many superstitions around there. Sometimes you hear, sometimes you say, oh, something. There's nothing to do with these things. There's nothing to do with this. Simple thing is the mind. Do you feel renunciation? Do you feel compassion? Do you feel bodhicitta? If you not feel that, there's nothing then. Doesn't matter. You can dream it's flying on the sky, or sitting with the Buddha, or drinking coffee with the Buddhas or somebody. Doesn't matter, right? That's how we should think always. Go with a realistic way. Don't too much superstitious. Then sometimes when we look into the guru, yes, guru is special because it's a title, or because, oh, this guru can talk to you next tomorrow what you'll come. It's a prediction, or something. Then all the miracle, all kind of power, like it's when they're looking on that level, you receive that type of blessing, right? It's not. It doesn't matter. I'm relying on guru is I need to achieve each of these realization. I don't have renunciation even right now. I need to achieve renunciation because my renunciation will lead me to the liberation, none of others. So I need to learn how to do that. That is why I rely on guru to learn this, right? Buddha last minute when he was dying, he says after Buddha died, he said, where they rely? His teachings. His teachings are the substitute of the Buddha. So that's the we need to know, right? How to liberate. So that is why, we should look from that perspective, not too much a kind of I don't know what they call. Sometimes because I often see the people comes to talk to me about these things. Mm-hmm. They see this, they hear that, they this. I'm not that much interesting to, doesn't matter. Some people may think seeing me as a Buddha, some people may see me as a devil, right? There's each individual, their mental projection. There's nothing to do with me, right? Similarly, it doesn't matter what the people see, or it's not about things. As long as if I do not have renunciation, I will never achieve liberation. As long as if I do not have bodhicitta, I will never ever achieve the Buddhahood. That clear. As long as I don't have wisdom of emptiness, I will never ever going to cut my mind of ego grasping. That's clear, right? So without this thing, there's nothing to do anything. I'm suffer because of my mind of ego grasping, my anger, my attachment, my jealousy. That's why I suffer, right? I rely on the guru is to learn how to get rid of these things. That's why. So these are go like that way. It helps you, encourage your practice more, really changing inside, not just simple account of the blessing things. So today I was thinking we're going to finish this stanza 13. But this preliminary practice take very long time to finish that. But I was, in the last minute, I was thinking about it from my own experience. I mentioned you. I become a monk very, very young age. I recite so many prayers, very young age. So I can recite this prayer, every day. But that age, what I'm reciting, I do not know what that means. So because of that reason, even you recite prayer all day, in evening, my mind is nothing changed. My feeling is nothing changed. So do one day, 1 week, month, years, that same prayer, nothing. For instance, Heart Sutra, reciting whole life, right? But have nothing, no idea what is emptiness, right? Without having wisdom of emptiness, my ego will not going to change it, right? That's why it's what we do. If we really know how to do, even small 5 minutes you do, so meaningful. It's really changed something. Not knowing, doing hours, not that much benefit. That is why one of the texts saying, smart people, smart here, the smart, which means who really understanding the dharma, who really know how to do the dharma, smart people, even very heavy karma accumulated, they can turn into very light karma easily because they know how to purify them. Not smart people, even light karma they accumulated, ended up that karma becomes so heavy because they do not know how to purify them, right? So karma constantly multiplying every day, ended up become very heavy. So that is why knowing how to do it, even 5 minutes meditate, even 10 minutes, huge benefit, right? If we do not know, just saying prayers and only just surface level, and not that much. So that's why I today, this 6 preliminary practice, just introduce, do perfect way where does master do it. First, even the cleaning the shrine room. What should you think? Right? What should you say? Sometimes you're cleaning the temple with you fighting to somebody else. Right? People may come. When you work together, they disagree. Then you're cleaning, you're fighting. Is this cleansing the obstacle or is accumulating bad karma more? Still, they do not know. Still doing, fighting each other. Oh, this looks like eventually this temple becoming causes of anger, or causes of jealousy, or causes of gossiping, right? As long as when they come gathering in the then social things, talking, what are you doing? What your business? What is family doing? What is he doing? What is she doing? Oh, because the variety people comes, then gathering, they just talk like that. Then you coming here to cleaning your obstacle, to cleansing your bad karma, to accumulate merits, to generate a realization. You go opposite way because you're gossiping, right? Gossip is one of the 10 non-virtues. How much accumulate non-virtue? Then sometimes using harsh word, fighting, then jealous each other, then talking behind here, there. Oh my God, this becomes like a really, really, drama place. So if they do not know how to do, these are the mistake. So that's why I try to go with the reality, how do we apply this practice in our day-to-day life. Then next we go precious human life and try to go a little bit faster. Uh, I hope my aim is try to finish this text in this 2 months, right? We have 2 months or something. So we'll try it. Okay, I'm going to stop here. So maybe I'll keep like a few minutes for question and answer sections. So any questions if you have? Maybe I have to give to the Jonathan to tell him to use a course. I forget it. Yeah. Okay. So any questions?
Vishala,
Yeah, go
can
ahead.
when you say that our aggregates are contaminated, you're you're saying that they are fruit of our past karma, contaminated karma with involved in destructive emotions. What exactly how can I understand it exactly? What do you mean by contaminated?
Contaminated, which actually contaminated, which means like for instance, our body is impure. It's not the
Right.
pure, right?
Huh.
It's impure. So that's how it's called contaminated. Contaminated means unpure, impures,
Impure,
right?
impure. Yeah.
Yes, impure body, impure mind, which means because of having this body,
Mm-hmm.
we have many other sufferings, like inevitable sufferings. Like, for
Okay.
instance, we cannot stop suffering of aging.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all have to go because of that body.
Mm-hmm.
Suffering of sickness, suffering of death, right? Because of having this body, finally, because this body is very fragile, eventually this body will not going to host or take care of our mind. It's declining. So that's why it's called the contaminated. It's
Okay.
impure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because it's source of further suffering, right?
yes, yes. So
Okay.
all the our other sufferings because of this body, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why.
Thank you.
So any questions? Okay.
Ursula, I have a
So
question.
yeah, go ahead.
The source of the suffering of the mind isn't just the body, right? It would be like karma and other things that have led to the source of suffering of the mind, right?
Source of suffering is not only body, it's all the five aggregates. When we say contaminated aggregates, which means body and all the four aggregates, mind, feeling, discrimination, all of them. So all of them are source of them. It means, what does that mean? Means why we have this body, the minds, the impure minds and impure body, because the fundamental cause is the karma. Karma is contaminated. Karma contaminated, which even virtuous karma we have, still contaminated, right? For instance, when I offer like some kind of fruits to the beggars, right? When I'm offering the fruits to the beggar with good intention, but the beggar, when I see the fruit, where I see all of them seeing them are exist independently, inherently, right? We grasping fruits exist independently, inherent. So mind of ego grasping, it's always involved there. So that is why even the virtuous karma, so that's why you're born into the human, but still even human, we have all these sufferings because the karma is contaminated. That is why our body and minds, all of them become like that kind of impure or contaminated. We Buddhists believe in formless beings. So we call three realms: desire realms, form realms, formless realms. So there are infinite sentient beings who born into formless realms. They don't have body, right? It's formless realms. They only have the minds, but still they are contaminated. Some minds they have. So what you call, it doesn't mean only the body.
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, so now we're going to recite the dedication prayer. Through these merits, may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four of faults, and be delivered from samsara oceans, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Samsara and nirvana lack even an atom of true existence, while cause and effect and dependent arisings are infallible. I seek your blessing to discern the import of Nagarjuna's thought that these two are complementary and not contradictories, May the precious and sublime Bodhicitta, not yet born, be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. In the snowy mountain paradise, you are the source of good and happiness, powerful Tenzin Gyatso generously. May you stay until samsara ends. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Geshe-la.
Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Geshe-la.
Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Thank
Geshe-la.
you, Geshe-la.